It's all mine. Hello, hello. As a matter of fact, I do art. Thank you for asking. Still in you. How's it going? Sean, welcome. Big Mike, how's it going? Dave, welcome. All right. Mid Tennessee Hog Catcher, welcome. Sorry I stepped away just as I was setting up the stream. It's just about dark here, and the light from the camera, I was swarmed by mosquitoes, and they're biting my hand. I had to go get some bug spray. Hope everybody's having a good night. Fishing for Whiskers, howdy. Yeah, I figured I'd give this a try. They're running some water tonight. The water is high for a change. It's a beautiful night out here. And I had some crappie in the freezer that I wanted to use up. S&T Catfishing, welcome. Figure I'd give this a little while. They're running water until 9. They turned it on at 5. It's running pretty good right now. Takes a little while to get moving down at our place from once they first open. But we're gonna give it a shot. The bait looked in pretty good condition for being frozen. Uh, thawed out nicely. Backlash, how's it going? Welcome. Yeah, I got the curse. It seems lately when I go live, I don't catch anything, and when I don't go live, I've been catching a few fish anyways. So we want to see if we can bust on through, break on through to the other side. You know that one, Art? Yeah, yeah, they are kind of camera shy around here. Hopefully, we get some of them Virginia fish to cooperate. TX Tiger, welcome. Good to see you. So tonight we have a hodgepodge of rods out there. Um, Running left to right. Number one is a Muddy River Blue Cat rod. Number two is Miss Kitty, the Mad Cat's rod that Aaron gave to me. Number three is the Purple Uncle Lou's. And number four is the Mad Cat's Poison Ivy. And today I basically grabbed those rods because they're the ones that had the big spooks tied on them. So if the water's running, I'm going to try to take advantage of some of these spooks. Kind of a last minute decision. I was kind of sitting around watching YouTube videos, watching other guys fish, and wasn't sure what I wanted to do today. And finally, I just decided to get up and go. Hey, Ricky, what's going on? Dink over stink, welcome. Figure maybe give this a couple hours. And they say they turn the water off at 9. It'll stop rolling by here around 9:30. But I probably, if I ain't had a bite by 9, I don't know if I'll keep going. Yeah, the crappie has been a pretty decent bait for us when we've used it. I think Art would agree. Crappie works pretty good down here or over at Kerr. Yeah, the fish I have been catching recently have very big bellies on them. Not the biggest fish, but big guts. So they're already starting to feed up. A 4-inch channel cat. Oh, hey, you caught a fish. You weren't skunked. Dink over stink, as you say. Backlash. Got to find a new fishing location. Johnny Smallpepper, welcome in. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to catch any 4-inch cats tonight, but I got some big old pieces of bait on. I got the whole backstrap of these decent sized crappie I cut off and cut out the belly pocket. I said the guard tend to grab those and yank on them, and then you come up empty. So thank you, Johnny. I appreciate that. I'm going to step away for a second. I'm going to go get my power bank and my cord so that this doesn't run down. It shouldn't, but it would be ridiculous if I let it happen, and I could have prevented it. So I'll be back in a minute. All right. Who did I miss? I'm back. Lance McCouguy. Welcome, Lance. Good to see you. Local 252. Welcome. Glad to see you. Yep. So now we wait. I should have a new mail call video uh, coming out tonight at some point. when it finishes uploading on my archaic internet connection. Our service here is so bad, and we have no other choice but what we have. And they're teasing us, saying that we're going to get high fiber optic cable, and they've actually even put flags in our yard. But that doesn't mean they're going to come through there anytime and run the wire. So, our service is so archaic and so old that I think there's rumor the Smithsonian wants it when we're done with it. 351 Cleveland. Hello, hello. Good to see you. You guys just coming in. I'm just going to give this a couple hours tonight while they're running water. I had some bait, had some time. Figure we'll go give it a shot. But this isn't going to be an all-night marathon. I only have 2 cut-up crappie, so. Abracadabra. Fish, 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 fish. You got it. Yep. If anybody's got any leftover Halloween spells or anything you want to throw out here on these fish, go ahead and do it. I wouldn't be surprised if my pet carp, known as Carpe, doesn't make an appearance tonight. He tends to come around when the water's moving and when it's high, and it's both of that right now. So he's probably out here somewhere. So, Tom, what you're basically saying, Michelle needed peace and quiet and told you to go fishing. Yeah, that's kind of like it is, but it was either that or lay down and take a nap. And, either way, she wanted me to be quiet. So this did the trick. This worked best for both of us. And hello, Dave. I don't remember if I said hello in the beginning. Paul Boyd, welcome. Good to see you. Hope everybody had a good Halloween last night. We, for I think like I don't know, 15th year in a row, our record is intact that we didn't have any trick-or-treaters at the house. We live in the middle of nowhere. The houses are so far spread apart. And the few people that throughout the years who've had little kids, they take them up into town where they can get more bang for their buck on the trick-or-treating. But every year we buy a bag of candy just in case. I don't want to be that guy that has nothing if somebody does show up. And now I'm stuck with all those Reese's cups. What's a guy to do? I did pick the Reese's for that very reason. Because if nobody was going to come and get them, then I wanted something that I would like. Miss Michelle is eating the Hershey's chocolate and the Kit Kats. So I hope everybody had a wonderful day. So today was the first of the month, and for anybody that's retired, everybody that's when your check comes. So we were paying all the bills for the month. I said that I was watching some YouTube videos, going back through my history and actually leaving comments. A lot of times at night in the living room, I'm watching the videos on the TV, but I can't leave a comment uh, without having my phone in my hand. And if I'm going to watch it on the phone, I might as well just watch it on the phone instead of the big TV. So every now and then I go back through and leave comments for all the things that I watched and a thumbs up or whatever. Spreading the support throughout the community. Gigability. Hello, LG, my favorite fishing spot on YouTube. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Kelly, what's going on, buddy? Kelly, I got to talk to you at some point about that item that you and Michelle had talked about. Um, you don't need to discuss that openly here. We will. I'll get with you. Yes, Art. Don't forget to nominate for the Golden Whiskers, folks. Uh, you can go on to Palmetto Cat's community page, uh, and the instructions are there, or you can go to Facebook. Golden Whiskers itself has a place where you can uh, nominate somebody. You know, if you have somebody for a certain category, uh, say the Blue Cat of the Year, you put hashtag Blue Cat of the Year, and a link to the video or a picture or something, so that people are mindful that it's out there. And when the committee meets, you know, we will discuss all the videos that people have put up for nomination, and we'll narrow them down to, uh, what the final ballot will look like. But now's the time. If you got anybody you want to nominate, or a page or a category, and the list is all on Palmetto's page, I believe, in his community tab. You can open that up, uh, and there's a listing of all the different categories that you can put somebody in for. Tim Molina, welcome. Bargrade, I see Bargrade come in. Yep. Hello, Bargrade. Good to see you. Good to see you, Tim. Polar Bear, haven't seen you in a while. Got 20 people out here tonight, sitting out on the dock with me. Okay, Art, there's the form. Art has the link to it there. And I would certainly like to see Art get nominated for that beautiful 93-pound blue cat that he caught right off this dock back in April. Oh, the saggy bottom boys. Hey, we resemble that remark. Those of you that aren't familiar with that, Matt from Wannabe Outdoors gave us that nickname one night, about a year and a half ago now, when he was watching us live, and Aaron and I were standing at the end of the dock, bent over, trying to. One of us had a fish on, the other one was bent over trying to net it, and I guess it wasn't the brightest of pictures. So he dubbed us the Saggy Bottom Boys. Sometimes life is more. Absolutely. Yep. Yep. YouTube should only be a distraction from the real world when you have time for it, Chad. I agree with you 100%. Hope you've been well. I'll just say, in reference to the video that's coming out later tonight, at some point, it might even come out while this is still going on. I asked Miss Michelle to put it out there as soon as it uploads, so that it doesn't. If it, I don't want to interfere with anybody's show tonight. But those of you that saw my struggles out here about a month ago now, uh, trying to weigh that my PB, my big fish, this mail call, uh, I was blessed to receive something that's going to probably make that problem non-existent. So I don't want to say what it is. If you're interested to know, you can watch the video. A couple people got together and did something really wonderful for me, and I'm happy to show it off. And I really can't say enough about what they did. So polar bear preparing for a stimulator for my back. Ooh, I hope you're all right, buddy. CVA, welcome. LG. How am I sounding? Is everything clear? Or any sign of the robot yet? Hello, Daryl. Welcome. Picture looks kind of clear on this end. Looks clean. Clear so far. The reception gods like you tonight. Yay! Thank you, Rhonda. SNT sounds good. Great. Thank you. Thank you. A short video. Oh, all the time, Daryl. There's actually times like, especially late at night when it gets quiet in the house, Michelle's gone to bed and I'm up watching TV. If I'm watching YouTube, I might not get in somebody's chat only because I don't want to miss saying hello to somebody when there's a whole lot of people in there. That's just my own OCD. We got bells on the rods, so we should have some indication if we do get a bite. However, uh, caught a couple of really the bigger fish we've caught. Don't even ring the bell at all. The ones that make that slow, long takedown. Well, a short is a relative term, Daryl. Hey, Jeremy, what's going on? The fishing is just that. It's fishing. No catching going on right now. I haven't even had. I've only been up for almost half an hour, and no bites yet. But they turned the water on. It's rolling pretty good. It's up high, and I had some nice crappie for bait. So, gonna give it a couple hours until they turn the water off, maybe, or until I run out of bait, one or the other. Keith, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Appreciate everybody coming in. Annette, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. Hey, Lyle, how you doing? Fishing. It's fishing right now. I've been out. I've been out here half an hour. Haven't had a bite yet. But good bait, good water. I think it's gonna happen tonight. It's kind of a last minute thing. I didn't really want to run over anybody, so uh, feel free when the shows start up a little bit later, and feel free to go check them out. If you saw Roger beyond a date, I guess as usual, and if you saw his tournament, it was great to see the kids uh, out there in their costumes. And I didn't realize there were so many Jodies in this world. Michelle said I did a short, 60 seconds. Yes, Art, we have crappie tonight. Um, Art, when Aaron and I were over at Kerr the other day, we ran into the game warden and we got to talking to him. And he said that we were talking about using crappie as bait because, we were at Rogers Road and you could see the schools of crappie busting minnows up in the back of by the road there. And we got to talking about crappie as bait. And he said on Gaston, you don't have to keep them whole or fillet them because there's no size limit on Gaston and there's no quota. So I had a couple of crappie in the freezer uh, that I've been using sparingly because I didn't really like using them whole or as a large fillet. And so I thawed them out this afternoon, and here we are. Cold Creek, welcome, Billy. Yeah, that would be nice, Billy. Catch another pig. Tell you what, I'd take anything. I'd take a 2 pounder right about now. I just like catching fish. I do admit, though, the bigger ones make me smile a lot wider. Dale, what's going on? Good to see you. Daryl shared us out. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Daryl, Michelle said she did do a short. Tim, I saw your pictures from the other day. Man, you got on some nice fish the other day. That was awesome. Couple of beautiful walleyes. Is that light on the rod still good? It looks like when I'm not looking at the camera, it looks like it's getting dull pretty quick. Yeah, there it goes. Hold on, I gotta go get another light. I don't know why that one didn't get charged. All right, that should be a little brighter. What did I miss? Yeah, you still got it, Tim. Kevin Fish is welcome. Nice to see you. Natural State Fishing, welcome. 922 Crappie Barbecue. How's it going, buddy? 922, you may or may not be happy to hear that we're using crappie as bait tonight. Miss Michelle says, new video is up. It's the very first post on your new community tab. Awesome. Thank you, Miss Michelle. If those of you just come in, that's a mail call video that we've been working on, and our internet connection is so atrocious. It just finally finished loading. Avid, what's going on? Good to see you. Appreciate you coming in. Yeah, I'm sure you can't see the line, but the water's running right to left, and all the rods are shifted that way. Appreciate everybody coming in tonight. For those of you interested in the rods, left to right, Muddy River Blue Cat rod, Miss Kitty, the Mad Cat's rod, and the purple Uncle Lou's rod in the center of the dock, and the Mad Cat's, oh, just had a bite. Getting a bite on the purple one on rod number 4. Had a little jiggle jiggle. Of course, with the water running, it could have just been the current knocking it. We need to hear a little bit more than that, though, before we get up. It's encouraging, though. Big Wrench, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you. Weed Hopper, how's it going, Brandon? Appreciate everybody coming in tonight. Like I said, this ain't going to go on too awfully long. Give it a couple hours, unless the bite really turns on. Trying to figure out the transition, between the day, the night, the afternoon bite. when they're running water, when they're not running water. At some point last fall, they it turned into a very nice uh, evening dusk bite when the water was moving. So that's kind of what I was going for tonight. But am I below a generating dam? I'm below the Kerr Lake Dam. Um, they're releasing water through the dam out of Kerr Lake. Um, it runs through our lake, which is Lake Gaston, through another smaller lake, and then goes down back into the Roanoke River channel, where they do have a power plant below us. But they're running, yeah, they this time of year they unless we're inundated with a lot of heavy rain that they need to run off. They don't run water but a couple hours a day. And I know when I was bass fishing, boy, when that water started moving, it really set those bass up. Got them sitting on the structure, tight to hiding behind something, waiting on something to come by. Laura the Explorer, what's going on? Did you make sure Michelle doesn't need the truck? Well, you know, Lorianne, as I've said before, it's a man's world. Sorry, Miss Michelle, I didn't mean it. Not Miss Michelle's up at the house working on a video of her own. Yeah, this lake doesn't get low because the Kerr Lake, which is above us, is a bigger lake. And that's an Army Corps of Engineers lake. You know, it's made to retain water. Uh, but our lake, they since they control the flow of when they release it, uh, we can only go up or down by a foot above the mean level. Otherwise, it would leave people's boats in the mud. This has houses on it from one end of this lake to the other. Almost every piece of shoreline has a house on it somewhere, and you know, either leave people high and dry or, you know, sitting down in the mud. So uh, they run it basically to just to keep the water level here. Mike Sampson, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Miss Michelle would speak up for herself if she needed anything. Yeah, she'd come down the hill with a frying pan in her hand, Tim. I'll be back, Laurie. I'm not sure what was playing with my bait there a few minutes ago, but he doesn't seem that interested anymore. Maybe something hit the line. Maybe something in the current running downstream. So rods 2, 3, and 4 have Big Uncle Lou's spooks on them. They're sitting out there in the current. Uh, got them into the channel. Um, the white Muddy River rod to the left is up on the flat. That has just a peg float and a couple of Versa rattles on it, but that's in about 5, 6 feet of water. And the other 3 are down in the channel, which is about 25, 26 feet. Jacob, what's going on? Good to see you. Kenneth, Take Down Catfishing, welcome. Huckleberry, hello, hello. Good to see you. Yeah, so we're trying to shake off the live curse. The last couple of times I gone live, haven't caught much or anything. And the couple of times that I don't go live, I've caught fish. So James Ross, catch a big one. Well, thank you. Appreciate you coming in. I'm sure going to give it the old college try. Sandy Toes, welcome. Sandy says, morning, everyone in chat. Oh, oh, oh. All right. Well, that was a little interesting. Rod number 3 started going down. By the time I got to it, it stopped. And then while I was standing there, rod number 2 started going down. I have a feeling that might have been Mr. Beaver, though. We got a beaver that swims back and forth. Every now and then he clips the lines as he goes by. All right, what are we missing? I'd like to think it was a fish, but when I came back to my chair, something splashed down here next to the dock. I didn't see him swim away, but I have a feeling that was probably that big carp. Carpe, as he's called. He said, no joke, there's a carp that swims under the dock and he goes over to across the boat ramp next to us and over to the next dock and comes back and goes through. He's every bit of 4 feet long. He is an absolute monster. Hey, Laurie sharing out some links. Appreciate that, Laurie. Yep. Feel free to share links, people, if you're moderators. If you're not a moderator and you'd like somebody to share your channel out, just let them know, and sure Laurie would be happy to help. My dear, dear friend Laurie Ann, Laura the Explorer. Yep. Yep. Huckleberry. Yeah, we got there's 2 beavers, a couple other rodents that come by here, but we see them going back and forth all night long when we have enough light. The moon is coming up. Should have a little bit of a view of the water here shortly. Yeah, one of these days I am going to try to catch this carp just so I can weigh him. I don't want to. I wouldn't want to keep him or anything, or cut him up as bait. He's way too big. But, I don't really have a whole lot of luck with carp as bait. We haven't used it a lot, but the times that we have used it, zero. Now, sucker does really good on this lake. Most all the biggest fish that we've caught on this lake have come on sucker. Of course, they're hard to come by. Yeah, I'd like to. Yeah, I'd like to get a weight on them and take a picture with them. We could shake hands, fins, whatever, and put them back. We've got a couple of videos of them, in the dark. With just like a headlamp on him, and you can't really see him all that closely. You can get an idea how big he is, but uh, he's definitely a monster. One night, when it gets real quiet, he comes around, and you jump up in a hurry because of a rod going down or something. If he's near the dock, one night he splashed me. He soaked the leg of my pants. He was right under the dock when I jumped up. You have some monster carp in Oregon too. Yeah, yeah. I've never looked into what the record is here for Virginia. Uh, to be honest, I've only ever caught one uh, on a piece of bait. It was on a piece of night crawler. But I've caught a couple of giants um, on my bass rods. Uh, I used to bass fish exclusively. That, and especially in the winter, you'd snag a carp, with a rattle trap or something by accident. You didn't see him. You make a long cast, and you think you got the. Oh, the rod just came up on number 3. Just all of a sudden came up. No, we haven't. Well, Aaron did one night throw out a can of corn and threw some corn on a little hook and tried. We never had a bite though, but we were in the middle of doing the catfishing anyway. So, but I've got some that were, when you bass fish, you don't need one of those big 100-pound scales. I had a 25-pound scale, uh, and I had one of the carp that I snagged. He bottomed that out, so I don't really know how big he really was. Sandy says, "Come on, Fishy, I've got a block of walking left." Don Johnson, welcome. Thanks for coming in. We're fishing at Lake Gaston. I'm in the state of Virginia. The very southern border of Virginia, Lake Gaston, is split pretty much down the middle, east to west, between Virginia and North Carolina, and we're on the Virginia side. Yep, Sandy got them toes working. I appreciate everybody coming in. Mark, what's going on, buddy? Young Tom. Who are you talking to? I'm older than you are. I say this was kind of unscheduled. I know Roger's coming on here. We're just starting, especially if you watched his tournament this weekend with the kids. Go on over there and tell them how much you enjoyed it. It was wonderful. That was a great event. And as I said, I didn't realize there were so many Jodies in this world. I saw Freddie's costume with the rails in the hair. That was priceless. Mark says he'll be right back. The air fryer is beeped. Chucky, what's going on? Good to see you, Chucky. Hope all is well with you. Tim says imitation is the greatest form of flattery. Yes, it is. Say Jody's been having a heck of a year on the water this year. Mike Irvin, welcome. Matt, what's going on? Good to see you. Nice new truck you got. Looks sweet. Yeah, Mike said take down, and I looked up. Rico, what's going on, buddy? Enjoyed your video today. Rico had a nice video come out today for a fishing trip that he did. Got a beautiful flathead. Matt, we were talking about you earlier. Art had mentioned the Saggy Bottom Boys, and I was explaining to people in the chat how that came about and how we have you to thank for that. Saggy Bottom Boys, never heard of them. Yep. The bait of choice for this evening, Rico, is crappie. Had some frozen crappie in the refrigerator and the freezer that I wanted to use up. I'm overflowing our spare little mini freezer, and Michelle's been on me to clean out some of that fish in there. So crappie, it's what's for the catfish's dinner. Absolutely, Miss Michelle. No, I'm alone tonight. Hadn't heard much from Aaron last day or two. He said he'd get with me sometime during the week if he could come up and fish. Uh, I know his back's been bothering him a lot, so I don't want to bug him. And this was a last minute thing. You know, I was sitting in the house and I knew I had the bait to use. And when I called, they said they were turning the water on tonight. Kind of wasn't anything that I had thought of uh, in advance to even reach out to him. Yeah, Matt, I was going through some old photos and some YouTube, and I didn't realize it's already been over a year since you were here. Yeah, you and me both. I mean, the service down here is horrendous. Um, those of you that follow the channel, you've probably heard the term the three boards of service, and that refers to where you have to sit your tripod uh, to get reception down on this dock. The dock is in the bottom of a ravine. The community we live in is actually called Cliffs on the Roanoke. Uh, it's a very, very steep hill coming down here to the ramp, and there's just like no service here. And from doing some research, I think is when Two Stands was here, walking around the dock, moving a foot, moving sideways, try to figure out where the best reception was. It was decided that uh, at this exact spot, if you weren't on those three boards of service, you wouldn't be able to go live. So that's the joke here, but literally that's true. When you see uh, some of my lives, and then I have a hard time staying connected. Especially if you get up and move, around the camera, it ruins the signal. But we do our best. Somebody, El Catfish Grande, welcome. Great to see you. Yes, the dock is in a reception hole. Absolutely. And some people have better service than others, but Verizon just don't work down here. Especially in the daytime. At nighttime, we have better luck. My phone does better at night when the sun ain't beating down on it, uh, and when the wind ain't blowing. But I still try to sit back away from it so I don't get too close to it. Give it its space. We have an understanding. I should probably freshen up a couple of these baits. I don't think any of them are should be gone. S&T gotten a 34 subs. That's awesome. Let's everybody help them out. If you haven't subbed to S&T, go check them out. If you like what you see, give them a sub and watch a couple videos for them. Laurie, the rod to the left, rod number one, is the Muddy River Blue Cat rod. Number two is Miss Kitty, the Mad Cat's pink rod that Aaron gave to me. Number three is the purple Uncle Lou's rod. And the green one to the right is the Mad Cat's Poison Ivy. And I say I've got big spooks on all of them because they are running water. So hopefully they're sitting out there making some noise. Snake, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Yep, the Uncle Lou's does pop. Um, and the orange one actually, at night, the orange one does look the best. It gets the best color. Um, but I broke two of them off the last time I was here, and I haven't retied them. So when I made the last minute decision to get out the door, I took what I had spooks already tied on. Some of them don't have them, and some of them were broken off. You been out getting in on any sturgeon fishing out there, Snake? Bin Seeker, Jeremy, welcome. Good to see you. Those just coming in, we haven't had the opportunity to jump in on anything. We had a couple of look like a couple of takedowns, but I'm not 100% sure they were fish. Had rod number 3 go down slowly, and then number 2 went down when that one came back up, and then they both came back up. So I have a feeling that was a beaver swimming into my line. So they're both out there kind of in the same area, and we have a beaver that goes back and forth all night long. Yeah, Jeremy and Mark. If you didn't, Mark, if you didn't hear earlier, we are using crappie tonight as bait. For all those guys that use ditch pickles out there, back at you. Read your last comment again. Did I do so? What we got going on up in here? Oh, I see. Laurie said, I love when people hook up with one another. Brian B., what's going on? Good to see you, Brian. Laurie's stupid smartphone keeps changing fin to fun. Fun seekers, yeah. So, Brian, when are we going to get you down here? Have a mac and cheese throwdown with Miss Michelle. I want to be the judge, and I think I know some guys that would help me judge. All right, 30 people up in here. Appreciate you. Laurie says you're all on your own now. I haven't dropped links like that in a cat's age. I appreciate it, Laurie. Sure everybody else does as well. And for those of you who just came in recently, uh, we dropped a mail call video on some pretty interesting things that have come my way recently. Uh, that actually dropped while I've been out here. Uh, it wasn't done when I came down. I asked Michelle to drop it as soon as it finished uploading. There's some pretty cool things on there, I think. Hope you like it if you go watch it. Oh, oh. Yeah, it's another one of them slow takedowns, and he popped right back up again. Well, a cat's age. Well, I mean, a cat has 9 lives theoretically, so I don't know what a cat's age would be. It's probably a long time. So, if you saw that, the green rod started to go down. Something's coming through the woods down here. Something pretty large size. Making noise coming through the brush. Kenneth says, I'm in. I'll judge. Yeah, yep. I am intrigued by Brian's mac and cheese. Yeah, Brian, I think you should have a mac and cheese throwdown with Miss Michelle. Like I said, I'll be the judge, and I know some guys who would also like to help. Oh, sorry to hear that, Sandy. Unless you don't like it. I love mac and cheese. My doctor don't think I should have it, but in moderation, every now and then, a big pan of that does the guy good. Yeah, S&T, we've got some coyotes down here. There are an occasional bear sighting on a couple of the neighbors' trail cams, but oop, oop, yep, the green rod went down again and came right back up. Um, we've had some foxes show up down here. We had one night that was cackling at us coming down the hill, and all we could see was his eyes. We couldn't see him. He was in the ditch, and he was loud and he was mad. And he crossed. He come almost all the way down to us, and he crossed over to the other side, and he was sitting up on the hill watching us. And it was when we saw him going up the hill, we could get a camera on him, or a light on him. It was a large gray fox, but yeah, usually you don't think a fox is making noise coming at you from a distance. Yeah, and he was all sorts of angry about something. Sandy says, "Can't say I've had some I like. I probably look like hog legs did eating the Vegemite." Laurie said there was some gunfire this morning in her neighborhood, but no bears. Kenneth had a beaver in the woods. Yeah, this coming through that I heard a little bit ago wasn't the beaver. It wasn't loud. There was too much noise for it to be a beaver. I'm thinking it was probably a deer. I'd like to think it's a deer. Although it could have been a megalodon. I don't know. Michelle, you told him our secret: lobster mac and cheese. I grew up in New England, so I'm a big lobster fan. I grew up eating it all my life, and everybody says that everything tastes better with bacon, and I think that's not true on one account, is when you're talking about lobster, because lobster has that beautiful sweet taste to it, and it would be overpowered by the bacon. And if you're trying to taste the lobster, not that the bacon ain't good, but I'd rather taste the lobster than the bacon. And that's the only instance where something isn't better with bacon. Clam chowder, yeah, put that bacon up in there. Reed Hopper's made mac and cheese with crawfish was amazing. That's awesome. S&T, a big plate of sausage gravy and cornbread. Got Miss Michelle made us a big pot of chili this weekend with some cornbread. In that case, it was probably a squirrel. Yeah. That was a squirrel that he's dragging like a large trunk or something. But I don't hear him anymore, so he's probably watching from a distance. No, Brian, we're Michelle and I were kind of intrigued when we saw the video, the live when you were making the mac and cheese with the mustard. And that's something, we're foodies, and it's something that would like to try. Mark likes au gratin potatoes better than mac and cheese. Yeah, I like the scallop potatoes a little better than the au gratin, but I get them more often than mac and cheese. So, in fact, Miss Michelle doesn't even make it for me anymore. Very seldom, because she taught my daughter-in-law how to make it, and now when my daughter-in-law, when they everybody gets together for the holidays, what do you want me to bring? And she says, can you do the mac and cheese? Because Michelle's got so much going on in the oven and the stove, and so that way she can make that at her place and bring it. And so I don't get it as often as I used to when Michelle was making it. Brian B, I'm going to do a shrimp crab meat mac and cheese. Ooh, you gonna record that, or you gonna go live, or Rico's cornbread all day long? Yep. If it was a megalodon, that would really suck, Mike. Mark had brisket mac and cheese. Oh, I can see how that would be wonderful. Yeah, Rico loves some clam chowder. Laurie is also a New Englander by birth. Lobster, I love the taste, but never found it worth the money. Well, not down here, but growing up there, you could go down to the docks and you could get it right off the lobster boats for a lot less than you're going to pay in a store. And was it August and September, I think, is the month where they were most plentiful. And you could get, I remember, I mean, it's been 20 years, but back then the price was market value. And I remember last time that we were home and we got them, they were only $2.99 a pound. You can't beat that. And the best tasting lobster is only about a pound and a quarter, pound and a half, anyways. You're better off with this, a bunch of small ones than one big one. It just gets tough like any kind of fish. The bigger it gets, the tougher it gets. Brian made loaded potatoes with shrimp scallops and crab meat. Yum. And I just heard a little jiggle jiggle, but I don't see anything moving. Laurie, we use spam in our mac and cheese in the hood. Oh no. Yeah, not a fan of this. Not a fan of the spam. Michelle says, "Well, Mark is a communist. He thinks crab is better than lobster too." I don't know. To me, crab just seems like if you're getting whole crabs, it just seems like more work than it's worth. When you go to these restaurants and they put just a whole roll of brown paper on top of the table so you can beat them with hammers to get these tiny little pieces of meat out of them. At the end of the day, you end up getting drunk before you get full. Spam and eggs. Mm. Brian's, they would never know mustard is in it unless you saw them make it. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the intrigue of it. You know, I want to see if it heightens the flavor. Squirrel, what's going on? Good to see you. Appreciate you coming in. 31 people up in here. Mark said he missed 2 bites but was only out for 3 hours. Putting the boat back in the trailer was rough. I'm going to hit the sack as soon as these painkillers kick in. Mm. You're still sore from your fall, Mark? I hate that for you, buddy. It helps with the cheese. It makes it creamier. Hunting and stuff with J&J. What's going on, John? Appreciate you coming in. Joy, how are you tonight? Appreciate you coming in. Brian says, Laurie, we was cool until you used spam in the mac and cheese. I gotta agree with you there, bro. Scott, welcome. Nice to see you. Yeah, I agree with you there, Laurie. We used to do some clamming at low tide where I grew up too. Get them big old quahogs. Miss Michelle says, Brian, the answer is mustard is for the acid hit this dish needs without breaking the cheese. So, no, clams, the big ones. You go out in the water and you wrestle your heels together, and when you see an air bubble come up and you wipe all the dirt away, you come out with a big old clam. The big clams, they call them quahogs. And you could eat them raw. We'd open them right there on the beach and eat them. Mr. Kitty Whiskers, welcome. Good to see you. All right, Kenneth, appreciate you coming in. Hope you get some sleep. Have a good show tonight. S&T, good night all, and God bless. Well, thank you for coming in. Appreciate you. And I hope to see you again in the future. All right. Starting to get a little behind here. Trying to get caught up. Miss Michelle says, Mark, crab is not better than lobster, but I still love you. Mark says, I think I hate walleye fishing. Mark says, it is better, and same to you, Michelle. Tim says, a cup of coffee helps activate the medicine. So does a slug of Fireball. Mark says, Michelle, I had crab cakes this weekend. Whoa, there are. We had crab cakes not that long ago, Mark. Miss Michelle made them at the house. They were wonderful as well. Yep, Miss Michelle says Tom loves crab cakes. I do too, but only if I make them. The restaurant ones are mostly filler. But crab is very expensive, so I understand. Yep. Tim said in Mexico they had mussels and oysters right on the beach. They were so good. I can see that. Indy, what's going on, Chris? Good to see you. Fracture Fix. What's going on, buddy? Hello, hello. Appreciate you coming in. Mark, we got pretty good walleye fishery here. Um, I've caught some by accident, mostly with deep diving crankbaits when I was bass fishing. And I know the guys catch them trolling out here in the river channel. Uh, but I think from what I've heard, the guys have caught them up to 12, 13 pounds in here. Uh, it's just that not very many people target them. Fireball is the turkey bacon of whiskey. I hear you. I'm primarily a beer guy, though. Yeah. If I had some, I would. Sunfish for fish. Here, fishy, 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 fishy. Welcome. Appreciate you coming in. Yes, indeed, Chris. Michelle did do a video on crab cakes. She did that in a response to a conversation with Art of One Ton. All right. Laurie's said she just picked up sunfish for fish. and shared his link as well. Crab cakes, mahi mahi, and shrimp. No, Scott, we don't even have any in the house right now. There's nothing she could bring me, and I got the Jeep, so she may call it the "It's All Mine's Jeep," but I call it the Mobile Catfish Command Center. Something coming down the woods behind me again. All right, not sure what I got behind me here, but he's got some beady green eyes. What did I miss? Yeah, there's something back here behind me. He crossed behind the Jeep, and he's in the gully, but I can't get a good look at him. Don't have a strong enough light. He's just too far out. So you notice just how commanding it is, right? The catfish ignore it. Let's see. Trying to get caught up. Yeah, it looked a little big to be a cat, but a house cat, anyways. No, pew pews up the house. Yeah, I turned my light around. It was behind me, so I hear him crunching. Duggar, what's going on, buddy? All right, 27 people still in here. We're coming up on an hour and 50 minutes. They're going to be shutting the water off here, up lake, in 5 minutes. Yeah, I hear you, Tim. Well, I know that was the beaver. I don't know if you heard that on the screen, but he just did a big tail slap out here. I know that sound well. Don't have to see him. He just did it again. He's mad. Looks like I need batteries in my headlamp. It's not all that bright anymore. So the beaver is now moving right to left. So that's his third slap. Wow, he's mad. Don't hit one of my rods. I don't want to reel him in. I won't know it until he gets here. Four. Four tail slaps. I've never heard that. He is pissed. What damn is Sandy leaving? Well, thank you, Sandy. Appreciate you coming in. Enjoy the rest of your day. So I've got about another half an hour here, I guess, before the water stops. It takes a while after they shut it off for it to actually get here. We're about 7 miles below the dam, river miles. So we notice that it still runs for a little while after they crank it down. Tim, we've been on the dock when we had one doing right next to the dock in the middle of the night. Yeah, they'll scare you if you're not paying attention. Normally, like in a full moon, we can see them going across the water. We kind of expect it, but every now and then he can sneak up on you. Laura has to say good night as well. Appreciate you coming in, Miss Laurie. Um, hope to see you again soon. Don't forget to check out the video that just dropped while I've been out here. We had a mail call video that we put out. It wasn't ready uh, to be put out when I first came down, so Miss Michelle dropped it as soon as it finished uploading. And we'll see you down river, Laurie. Kevin, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Appreciate you stopping in. So far, no fish. Had a couple of minor slow takedowns, but I'm not 100% sure that they were fish because we've got a beaver swimming back and forth out here. And the way he knocked them in order, I think he caught him with his tail going by. That was a nice video you put out there, Kevin. I watched that today. Oh, I appreciate that, Kevin. I'm not gonna be out here too much longer. Been out here a couple hours. Uh, they're turning the water off at 9 o'clock, so I'm just gonna let that play out. But if I start getting a bite or two, I certainly have enough bait to stay. But there really is nothing going on. Yeah, Kevin using all the big words. Yeah. Yeah, I thought everything had lined up nice tonight. I turned the water on just as it started to go. The sun went down. The water was high. I had fresh bait. Really thought we would get into a few tonight. It ain't over yet, though. However, at some point, I am going to have some food get in my belly. Yeah, if anybody has any leftover Halloween curses or spells you want to put on the fish, now would be the time. Yeah, Scott, I'm trying to figure that out. Trying to do some morning, some later evening. Uh, but I know last fall there was an evening bite when they were running water, and that's what kind of excited me to come out tonight. And try as I might, I don't get up that early uh, on purpose anymore. I stay up way too late watching YouTube, uh, half awake on the couch, which I really need to stop doing. But hey, I'm retired and I got nowhere to be. So yeah, Miss Michelle, if you heard that, you can fire up my lobster roll now. I think I'm starting to come down with a little something. I got a little bit of a scratchy voice thing going on. I woke up with it this morning. I don't feel bad. Just my back of my throat's a little itchy, scratchy. I'll go take a flying leap off the end of that dock. Well, being there's only 2.5 feet of water there, you know that probably it wouldn't do what you need it to do. Yeah, Kevin passed it to me in the text. Oh, wow. Yeah, I hope not. I don't need to be sick. Nobody does really, but we're supposed to be going out to visit my grandson Saturday for his 5th birthday party. So I don't really want to be sick right now. Mitch Michelle. All right then, Michelle. The crab cake will do. Love you, mean it. Oh, that's cool, Indy. Uh, Matt, you want to try fly fish here, or are you talking to somebody else? At the dock. Well, there's plenty of room. First step in doing that is getting in that truck and heading northeast. Yep, anytime, Matt. Anytime you want to come up. Yeah, now you're talking my language, Tim. Yeah, I'm going to give this 20 more minutes. 9:30, the water should be about stopped. If I haven't had any bites by then, it probably ain't going to happen. And I don't really want to get under the weather. So, wifey said after she gets her gutters, she happily sent me on my way with trays of food. Yes. Oh, you're getting off cheap, Matt. Gutters? Shell wants a whole kitchen. We are going to make the kitchen happen, but with the holidays coming, we've decided to push it to the first of the year. It's going to take a while. Takes a while to get the countertop in after you get the cabinets done, and so they can measure it and cut it. And so we didn't want to be caught in the holidays without a kitchen. So probably the first of the year we're going to get rolling. Now, Tim, I mean, I have more of what I have, but they don't seem to be liking it. I cut up I had two crappie, and I cut them up, uh, chunked them, cut off the belly pocket. I really have no success with that, and tie to the gar, grabbing it by the bottom and not getting the hook in them. So, um, but I said maybe if since I am trying to figure out what the bite is, maybe I'll keep that and maybe try in the morning if I can get up, if I can get my butt out of the rack. I says she's sitting right here. Great. Now she's thinking on the kid. That's a big endeavor. It ain't cheap. Tim's gonna redo his countertops in epoxy. Okay. Art and nope, nada, zip, zilch. What I thought originally were bites, I think was the beaver swimming into my lines because he went right down the row. One rod started to go down, and I got up, and by the time I got to it, that had slowly come back up, and then the next one, I think he was swimming into him. He was out here a little bit ago. He tail slapped 4 times. He was mad. Cheaper than stone. Yeah. She has her countertops quartz. Yep. I think that's what Michelle was looking at. Michelle's all gung ho about it, and she's done all of her research, and at some point, when she starts telling me about it, at some point my eyes just glaze over and I get lost in it. I don't comprehend it. I'm slow on the uptake on something like that, you know. And if she knows what she's doing, more power to her. Animals, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Appreciate you coming in. The animals hanging out with his son Dom and watching Paw Patrol. Good for you. That's what you need to be doing, Dan. Spend that time with them when they're young. Our youngest is now, I don't want to say this wrong, 26 or 25. He used to be my little fishing buddy. Now he rides a Harley. The Fuzz, what's going on? Appreciate you coming in. Not much going on here. I've been sitting here watching the rods stand perfectly still. Going on 2 hours and 13 minutes. Mm. Art is watching Scooby Doo. Stainless steel countertops. Watching you fish, I'm starting to feel like John Parker. It's funny to say that. You mentioned John. Um, I'm trying to figure out when these fish are actively feeding because I want to have John come out here. John lives about an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes from me, and I really want to get him out here. And I just don't want to make him come all this way if there's nothing going on. I just want a reasonable chance that he's going to catch something before before him and Dana drive all the way out here. Yeah, I never had a motorcycle either, Tim. Dan rides a Harley and a Hayabusa. Where are you from, DeFuzz? Where are you fishing? Oh yeah, Kevin. No, I understand that, and I'd love to have you up here too. Uh, it's just that with John, he doesn't catch a whole lot of fish, and everybody kids him, but about having the bad juju on his rods and all that. I would just like for him to come up here and just catch a couple of nice fish. And, yeah, I mean, I can go a long time without catching any fish. I just love the experience, and it is all about everybody that comes by here or through here, and I just enjoy every minute of it. It is about the fellowship and uh, the food. There's something special about breaking bread with friends and you know sitting around yucking it up. But I just like to, as many fish as we've caught here. I'd just like to see John come and have a great experience, a great afternoon or evening or whatever. The Fuzz is in Illinois. Yeah, I'm not too familiar. Other than Mark, Mike's Fishing Home, a couple of guys. I'm not that familiar with the good catfish waters there. Yeah, it's peaceful out here. I'll tell you what, the dock here is absolutely beautiful when the sun's coming up in the morning. You got the sun coming up behind you. You got the shadow of the trees on the water when it's flat calm. Absolutely beautiful. Yep, Steve has a Harley and a Yamaha V Star. The Yamaha sits in the backyard, and the Harley is his ride. Oh, that sounds like a good idea. Make them all stainless steel and built-in hibachi, so you can cook anywhere in the kitchen. I think she would love that. Yeah, we're kind of right on the line, uh, Fuzz. We don't. This lake doesn't freeze over. At least it hasn't. I don't know the last 10 years. You might get a little bit of ice in the back of a cove or something like that, but there is no freeze down here. So we can pretty much fish all year long, and up until it gets, maybe late January, early February, the bite is on. We can catch fish in the winter here as long as you can stand being out in it. And quite frankly, the winter bite here is better than the summer bite. I uh, Last year, I undertook a goal for myself to see if I could catch 365 fish in the calendar year, January 1st to December 31st. So I have records of every fish that I caught with a picture and a weight. Well, most of my weight, but uh, anyways, the purpose for saying that is that I can see, when we were catching fish and when we weren't, and like when they went on the beds to spawn, it got bad, and they were tough to come by. And throughout the whole summer, didn't seem to matter. We fished out here for sometimes 24 hours. We would set up Friday morning at 6 or 7 in the morning and only come up to the house to eat, and then go right back to fishing until 7, 8, 9 o'clock Saturday morning. And in the summer we were lucky to get one or two fish for 24 hours of fishing, and that same kind of thing held through this year. Although we didn't fish that long, we tried, but we kind of figured that it wasn't going to happen, again. But we did have a successful fall and winter bite until the very, very coldest part of winter. And I think that's, the fish were deeper at that point um, than we could get to. There, we're in a river channel out here with a maximum depth of 25, 26 feet. Uh, and there's a lot of deeper water further down lake from us. And I think, when it gets really cold, that's where they end up. And we just don't have an opportunity at them. Yeah, Dan says the propane companies will set a tank as big as you want. Yep. Art's saying winter is his favorite. The water went from 77 to 42 in a week. Wow. Yeah, that stuns them. I'm not opposed to gas, Dan, Michelle. It's just that we don't have it, and I don't really want to pay to have it put in. You know, I know she would prefer to cook on gas, but she does pretty darn good with electric. And then you got to worry about the homeowners because there's a thing in our covenants about that too. It can't be seen from the street. You have to build a hut around it. Yeah, I've got to go. Yeah, yeah. Art fracture. Yeah, Art. They had a great night. That was a fun live. I enjoyed watching that. Yeah, we've remained pretty stable. Obviously, it gets cold at night, but it hasn't really got really, really cold. And today it was 71, 72, maybe, I think, for a high. But it's been getting down high 40s at night. So we haven't really had that real cold snap. 7 days in the 30s. Oof. There you go, Michelle. Kevin said he's not opposed to gas. In fact, he's got it right now. Oh, rod number two just gave up a little jiggle jiggle. Uh, There's the beaver slap, but that was probably the beaver hitting my line again. Uncle Josh could fill the tank if it only cost you a couple of tacos. Oh God. I'll tell you, you're not far off there, Fracture. Yeah, I haven't delved into TikTok yet. I can't even I haven't even learned really YouTube yet. I haven't mastered that and trying to get to see everybody's videos and that I've signed up to support. And I don't think I can support another platform at this time. I'd end up abandoning this one. So if I liked it. So I'm happy where I'm at. Yeah, Dan, they come through here all night long. There's a little section of shoreline here that doesn't have a house or a boat barn right down on it. And they move their way around and they go out in front of us and go, cut back in and they're out here all night long moving around. But he's particularly mad tonight. He's doing a lot of slapping. Kevin, the week of Thanksgiving and Christmas, I'm going to be doing some major camping. I'd love to have some of you guys down. Yeah, I think I'm more into the glamping. I need some place to plug my CPAP machine in. Yeah, Scott. So far, no sign of him messing with the duck. There's only, in the daytime, you can see the bottom of the lake. You can see all the pilings. Matt likes camping in the frigid weather. Susquehanna Stan, what's going on, buddy? Welcome. Hope all went well today for you. Kevin's gonna do at least 48 hours on the pontoon. I remember when you did the 24-hour thing, Kev. That's kind of when I was kind of new to the community still, and that was awesome. I stayed up, I think, for all but maybe 2 hours of it when I fell asleep. Got a good report. That's awesome, Stan. I'm happy for you. And Miss Turtle Lady. Yeah, I hear you, Tim. That was my thought. When originally when we were thinking of going out to the gathering last year, Aaron was trying to get me to go and get tents and all that. And I said, if they don't have electric where I can plug in my CPAP and run a cord, I said I can't stay there because if I don't use that, there ain't nobody in that campground going to be sleeping. Everybody's going to be mad at me. Somebody tried to call, but I have my do not disturb on, so Kevin said it's nothing to do. Yeah, guess if you got enough power banks. No, it's like somebody calling me again. I don't see the number. I just see the little phone flashing up in the corner. Ricky, real, what's going on? Appreciate you coming in. Yeah, Kevin. The funny thing, I uh, I have the 4K watch hours now, um, or at least it did last time I checked it. It may have just fallen slightly under. So I haven't put much out lately. But I'm nowhere near. I can't. I haven't even hit 500 yet. I'm sitting at 450, and I've been there uh, for all summer now. So I gain one, lose two, gain two, lose one. I'm idling. But I got my community tab the other day when we were fishing. Um, I got a notification, to check out the new things you can do on there, and I opened up my page, and sure enough, they'd given me the community tab early. So, which is all I really wanted, anyways. Yep, Kevin is the OG. I hear that, Dan. Somebody say Aaron. I didn't see him. Yep. Uncle Jeep, what's going on, buddy? There he is. There's Aaron. What's going? What's cracking? Just out here trying to take advantage of the fact that they were running water tonight, and I had some crappie to use, but it hasn't paid off, and the water is now turned off. So the beaver, I think, is wreaking havoc with me tonight. He's out here swimming into my lines. Uncle Jeep, there was no nothing served for dinner this evening. Um, this was a last minute deal to come, and I decided to come down when I realized the water schedule, um, that they were actually going to be moving water and that I had a bait to use. Miss Michelle was tied up doing something else. Uh, so there has been no dinner. And we don't have Grubhub or any of that stuff down here. DoorDash, we don't have none of that in our little uh, tiny little town. So, but you can best be sure when I get up to that house, I'm going to eat something. And Ricky, Solo Texan Adventures in the house. Welcome. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? Alvin, what's going on? Alvin Lewis, appreciate you coming in. Kevin says he feels like he's new to the community. Not you, the OG. Used to look forward to Sunday nights. Paula Smith in the house. Welcome, Paula. Hope you're feeling well. Appreciate you coming in. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Miss Michelle, she's been doing a lot of stuff on her own channel of the meals that she makes, and um, she's got some interesting stuff going on her It's All Mine channel. Um, if anybody is interested, if you follow us and you've heard the talk of the breakfast sandwich and the ooey gooey bars, Michelle did little videos for those, and she put them on my channel. Uh, and she enjoyed doing it so much. That was the first time she had done that's what spawned her to start her own channel. So she's got some nice stuff over there. As a matter of fact, she was working on a video tonight that she had filmed last night. So she's doing some editing on that. So, Aaron, if you're talking to me, I'm not sure yet. Like I said, we got to get up early and head to the coast for my grandson's birthday party. So I'm not sure um, what's going to go on. and I'm starting to get a little bit of a cough going on here. So I'm probably going to pack this up here in a couple of minutes. Absolutely, Uncle Jeep. Fishing is all about the food, and catching fish is the bonus. I agree. Yeah, there's been some great food that's crossed this dock. Matter of fact, we even when Laurie Ann was here, I don't know which time it was. She's been here several. Um, Miss Michelle actually made us a prime rib dinner. We had a table set up down here at the dock, and we sat here eating prime rib at the dock. All right, Matt. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Take care, buddy. Miss Jody, what's going on? Good to see you, girl. Now, how do I know? Is this the real Jody? I didn't realize there was so many of you. Oh, cool, Dan. Dan saw 6 wild turkeys in somebody's yard this morning. John Boys, what's going on? Appreciate you coming in. We're gonna be packing. I'm gonna give this 15 more minutes. That'll bring us to 10 o'clock and just about 3 hours. The bite just hasn't materialized tonight. Conditions seemed like they were ready, but to pop off, but it didn't. Uncle Jeep is making General Tso's chicken wraps and a chipotle tortilla with cream cheese to take with him fishing on Thursday. You'll have to film that. Show us your finished project. Small water charters, welcome. Yeah, I have. Somehow, I don't think the lobster roll is going to materialize. James from Cool Cats, what's going on? There is really not much of a bite going on. Um, I've had a couple of bells go off, but I really think that it's the beaver swimming into my lines because they go off in sequence as I see them going by. So yeah, we've been at it for 2 hours, 45 minutes, and nothing that really resembled a big takedown. Yeah, you haven't had much of a bite. You were on them there for a couple of nights though. Those are the nights we dream of. Jody, you gonna have the Flathead Challenge this week? Yeah, I hear that, Brian. Should have used stinky carp instead of crappie. We've had really good luck when we've used crappie in the past. I had some in the freezer. I figured I'd bring them out. They didn't take long to unthaw. Yeah, that's the thing here. The we're intercepting fish that are moving up and down the river channel, and sometimes they're here and sometimes they're not. We're not sitting on fish that we can see. We got to wait for them to come by. Okay, this week is the finale. Okay. Okay, cool. Well, good luck. I'm sure I'll be watching. Yep, that's right, Brian. You don't know until you throw. There's been many, many nights out here when we only had one bite, but it was a big fish. David, what's going on? Good to see you. It's just a little tough. It's like as much as I, say to other people, it didn't bother me. I don't mind that. Oh, there goes my light. Hold on a second. And the light behind me went out too. Well, everybody, I guess that's my cue. I should probably cut this. Both lights have now burned. That's the third light I've burned out. So it's gonna take me about 10 minutes to pack this up and get everything put away. in its rightful spot in the Jeep. Uh, I'm gonna leave this on while I pack up, but I appreciate everybody for coming in. 32 people still here. I hate to leave, but the bite ain't here, and I'm getting a little hungry and starting to get a little scratch in my throat. So I think I need to go tend to that. So thanks again, everybody, and I'll say goodbye when I'm done, but I'm going to start putting stuff away. All right. All right. I'm going to leave this one last rod in the water until last. Um, there's probably been about a half dozen times when I caught a fish on that rod when I was packing up. So it's kind of my last ditch effort move, but we're going to leave it up uh, until the very last minute. Appreciate everybody hanging in, and I'll get back with you in a minute. All right, everybody, let's see. Still got 14 people hanging in. Arrowhead Lee, welcome. Oh, all right, I'm just looking to see if there's any messages I missed. Missy, I see reference Jody talking to Missy. Welcome, Missy. All right, everybody, I can't stall here any longer. It looks like the bite did not happen. I'm gonna go warm up and get something to eat, and maybe I got some bait. Maybe I'll try in the morning. I appreciate everybody coming in. It was a great night. I enjoyed the conversation. Hope everybody had a good time, and we'll do it again. Um, Looks like the water's back flowing now that they've turned it off. Big old stick floating by. So, all right, I'm going to cut it. Everybody have a great night, and I appreciate just coming in. And let's do it again. Oh, and also just if you heard earlier, I dropped a mail call video about some awesome things that I was presented with and received in the mail. So if you'd like to check that out, I'd appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Bye now.